Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here once again in my mobile office. Oh boy, I'm gonna touch on that horse shit, that boring bullshit known as a Democratic debate. That was the 10th one. We've gone through this shit 10 times. I'll get to that. But first, I wanted to talk about something from a video I did yesterday. So yesterday I talked about, of course, Harvey Weinstein's disgusting ass. He looks like a greasy bag of mayonnaise that somebody rolled around like on a barbershop floor at the end of the day. Just a hairy, disgusting, bulbous nose piece of shit. So he gets sentenced, or he got convicted, not sentenced. He got convicted, third-degree rape. And I mentioned how this fucker was in a walker. Just trying to get all the sympathy he could. And somebody said, oh, and he said that he has shortness of breath and heart palpitations. So a couple people actually in the comments were saying how he only pulled that shit after the judge denied his house arrest. He wanted to be on house arrest. Oh, you get convicted of third-degree rape, then you get to go hang out in a palace. No. The judge said, fuck no, you're going to be in custody until sentencing. And you can't blame Weinstein for wanting to be at home, where it's safe, where he can't be steamed. And by that I mean Epstein, you see what happened to him? Now you got Weinstein. Shit, if I was Bruce Springsteen, I'd be worried. Because when you're tied up in all this pervert shit in Hollywood, there's a lot of powerful people. Like I mentioned yesterday, Robert De Niro would let him come to his restaurant, Tribeca, after hours and bring some girls. You know what happened there. So Weinstein knows a lot. He knows a lot of people who did a lot. They can't let that shit get out. Now, they already tried the suicide shit. We all know Epstein did not kill himself. That didn't work. That shit fell apart. I don't know what kind of Keystone Cop shit they had planned. But when you see it, I mean, when I read that shit, how the guards, like one of them fell asleep, the cameras didn't work, like you can't help but hear that, what was that, yakety sack? You know, they're all running around in fast motion and shit, falling all over each other. But Weinstein didn't want to be steamed. So they might try something different with him. Maybe they'll do it the old-fashioned way. Let an inmate get a hold of him, you know. A guard will go on lunch, a long lunch. And the inmates will give him some extra holes to breathe out of. I don't know. We'll see what happens, Harvey. You better lay low. Oh, man, I hope they offer him less time for information and let's tear down these disgusting, weird, perverted fucks known as the Hollywood elites. Now, to this boring shit known as the Democrat debate. It's the same shit. Oh, I can do this. Well, I did that. And I voted on this. No, I voted on that. You said this and Senator so-and-so up. I tried, man. I tried to watch as much as I could. I was making dinner for the family last night. I had it on my phone. I was trying to listen, man. I probably got, I don't know how far I got through that shit. I was listening to the live stream. And yeah, it was terrible. I couldn't make it all the way through. I don't recommend anybody tries. There's a few things I took away from it. One of them was, I'm so tired of talking about this shit. All the race shit, all the race bullshit. So of course, you got Warren and these cats up there, telling Bloomberg, well, what about your stop and frisk and stop and frisk? So Gail, I don't know who the other lady was. I don't think I even looked at her face. But Gail was up there saying that she asked him, something about, you apologized for stop and frisk, but are you apologizing for the policy, or are you apologizing because you got called out on it? He's like, I've already talked about it. I spoke to black leaders about stop and frisk. What? Man, I can't stand that shit. What do you mean you talk to black leaders? Who are they leading? I don't have a leader. I'm out here on my own. I don't have a leader. I've gone rogue. A leader? Are we unionized? Are those our reps? The fuck are you talking about? You spoke to black leaders. So you've been exonerated? You've been absolved of all your sins because you went to the black council? What did he tell you to do? 10 Hail Keishas? And now you're forgiven? Get the fuck out of here. What do you mean you talk to black leaders? Go ahead and talk to them. What the fuck does that mean? I remember my parents as a kid, reading the newspaper back when that's one of the few ways you got your information. And my parents are like, Jesse Jackson, that fool ain't no leader. He don't represent me. I don't remember giving my statement to the black council. And you tell Bloomberg that. That never happened. I don't have a fucking leader. I am a leader. I can't stand that shit because people who are dumb enough, or maybe people who don't have enough experience with colored folk, believe that shit. They believe that Al Sharptongue and Jesse Jackson and all these other frauds represent black folks. They don't. I'm here to tell you, they don't. Where the fuck are the Asian leaders? Where are the Mexican leaders? Where are the white leaders? They don't exist. So why the fuck do we have black leaders? I've never spoken to them. They've never inquired anything about me. They've never asked my opinion on shit. So stop with that false, fake bullshit. You talk to black leaders. What, so you went down to Sylvia's and had some fried chicken? Now you're cleared? Man, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about stop and frisk. But don't tell me you talk to some black leaders. Oh, and I have over 100 black politicians who support me. So, let me tell you something, people. If someone ever accuses you of being racist, here's how you handle it. It's very easy. Watch this. Hey man, you're a fucking racist. Here's how you do it. You ready? Watch this. No, I'm not. And scene. That's it. Don't give him your resume. Oh, I know this black person. That shit's ridiculous. Don't even dignify that with a response. Like, man, Bloomberg should have been like, man, next question. I'm tired of that shit. That's like if I said, man, you're a three-headed alien with a tail. Man, that's some wild, dumb shit you wouldn't even respond to. Same thing. Somebody calls you that shit. No, I'm not. Get out of here with that shit. Those are the only two answers you need to give. Because if you're not, you're not. And guess what? The overwhelming majority of people are not racist. Oh, man. Dumbest shit ever. Well, I spoke to black leaders. I don't give a shit. I don't even know who those people are. Never spoke to them ever in my life. Never seen them in real life. They never wrote me a letter. Fuck them. And again, Booty Gauge got up there with his stupid race-baiting bullshit. He's all, we sit up here as 7 white people and we don't understand and we don't know what it's like to be black walking down the sidewalk. Walking down the sidewalk! We don't know what it's like to be in a mall with all eyes on us. What? Look, this ain't 1955. Nobody fucks with black people because they're walking down the sidewalk unless you're in some crime-ridden, fucked up area. And then there's probably a reason, because you're in a crime-ridden, fucked up area. I work in a very affluent part of California, part of the country. I don't know if we still are, but at one time, we were in the top 10 most expensive counties in this fucking country. I've never even been looked at sideways by a cop walking in this very affluent city. I've been in Pebble Beach. That's the creme de la creme. Never. So don't give me that bullshit. I'm in the belly of the beast, right? Around all these white folks. So it's bound to happen to me before anybody else if I'm going by your stupid ass logic. What are you talking about? I grew up around a whole bunch of Mexican people. Mexican people are racist as fuck against black people. Not all, but most. I lived it. I don't want to hear no bullshit. Well, Jericho, my grandma, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you what I know. I've been around some very racist people. In the mall, Booty Gage. In the mall. Never had a problem. I've gone in probably every damn store in there since back in the day. Never had nobody following me. Can I help you, sir? Remember, Don't Be a Menace? Hurry up and buy. Never. People say never. I just said it. I'll say it again. Never. Because I don't carry myself like somebody that needs to be fucking followed around. If you got a business, I don't give a fuck what they look like. If they're acting suspicious or you think they might be stealing your shit, you're on them. You know why? Because you're there to make money. I don't give a damn what anybody says. The only place I've ever had any problems in the mall, and it wasn't even nobody following me. I was in a mall in Baltimore. So here I bring my happy California ass up in there. I came from another store, so I had the shopping bag with the merchandise in it. So I go walking into a store, Foot Locker or something, and the person is like, they were standing at like a podium at the front of the store. And the dude is like, hey man, I'm gonna have to hold your bag. For what? I'd never ever experienced it. Hold my bag for what? It's like, oh man, it's just, loss prevention. Whoa, what? Hold up. You guys have such a problem with theft at your mall that I can't bring a bag in here because you're afraid I'm gonna try to stuff some shit in it? That's the only time I ever had a problem at a mall, Booty Gage. And guess what? The dude was black, so I doubt it was a race thing. It was a loss prevention thing. Money. That's what it's about. It's fucking money. That's why that dude needed me to put my bag there by the door. And you know why? Because they had problems with theft. So it behooves you to stop it because you're in the business of making money, not losing it. Fool. So black people are profiling other black people now? Yeah. If they got a problem with black folks stealing shit. Like, why are we avoiding the truth? It's not because you're black. If they do that, it's because they have a problem with people who look like you, whatever you may look like. They don't want their shit stolen. It's not based on race. It's based on cash. You fucking dingleberry. We don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like either. Fucking asshole. Started something fucked up to say right there, but I won't. Anyway, let's move on to Jokahannes, aka Skin Lizzie. Now, even though I think she and Bloomberg are both turds in the same punch bowl, she did something fucked up last night. So she's been on Bloomberg about releasing these women from the NDA, their non-disclosure agreement about some harassment or something. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jesse Waters on Fox, he said, because at the last debate, Bloomberg got worked. So he said, man, he's like, who's writing this stuff for Bloomberg? As soon as Liz Warren said, you need to release them from the NDA, I would have been like, well, we need to see about your DNA. And I was like, ugh, that shit was funny. But she's getting on him about these non-disclosure agreements about these women. You need to release all. Why don't you release all the women you've ever, like, shut up. So he's saying, he's like, I did release them. I did exactly what you asked, and you'll never be happy. Like, he did better in this one. So she's telling him, well, there was some woman who was pregnant in one of your businesses, and you told her to kill it. And even the crowd starts booing like, what? And Bloomberg's like, I never said that shit. I never. And I believed him. But that was a low blow, Skin Lizzie, Jokahannes. Like, that was fucked up to say that he told some pregnant lady, go kill it. Like, what, man? That's bad. That's real bad. And if that were to be proven, which I don't know how, if that were to be proven and you really said that, man, you're a monster and you're a piece of shit and a mule should kick you in your nuts. But chances are he did it, and that was just that was a low blow. That was some low ball shit right there. And then even one of the moderators was like, what proof do you have of that? Because that's a hell of an accusation. She's like, oh, the woman's own words. Really? Well, let's see this woman. Because if she talked to your dumbass, she'll definitely talk to somebody else. Let's find out about that. Because that is some mean, evil shit to say to somebody. That lady would have had every right to slap the taste out of his damn mouth for saying that. What do you mean kill? I'm not killing my baby. I'll kill you before I kill this baby. That's some hard shit to say, man. Liz, you're an asshole for that. You're a grade A, organic, free-range, wild piece of shit for that one. And one more thing I wanted to touch on real quick. So Trump was in India, right? So I see this headline on CNN, and it says, India erupts in violence amid Trump visit. Now, at a glance, which is what they're hoping for, people just see that title and keep moving and not get into the meat of the article. Well, I like to get into the meat. So I see the title, I'm like, what? Because all the other shit I saw was fucking, soccer stadiums and shit full of people cheering for Trump and all this artwork and people Trump, right? And I'm like, wow, this is a 180 from that. So let's see about this. So I get to reading it, and it's just a coincidence because there's some kind of law that's been passed about non-Muslims and shit, like some deep, real shit going on there. And it just so happened that clash, that eruption of violence happened when Trump was there. This has been ongoing. This is not the first time people have gotten violent about this. And it was like 13 dead, 150 injured. It was crazy. But just seeing that headline, violence erupts in India amid Trump's visit. So that makes you think Trump's there. People started getting violent and protesting. See, I told you Trump's a monster. Other countries know it too, and they're showing it. That's not the case at all. It was a great visit. The violence happened, but it had nothing to do with Trump. But you see that shit? You see how they try to sneak it in there? You see that? It's like my daughter when she was young. I make smoothies for her in the morning, and I throw in a little pinch of kale in there. Get a little extra vitamins, some greens. Never worked. She go, what's this? Damn it. She found the kale. Remember back in the day when kale was just used to serve food on? Like with a slice of orange, you order like some shrimp or something. It came on a bed of kale with some oranges. Now kale is like the star of the show. How'd that happen? Anyway, they tried to sneak it in on us, people. It's never ending. After Trump's 4 years, look, let me tell you what would happen in a perfect world. 4 more years of Trump, 8 more years of Trump Jr. Because if Trump gets out of office after his second term, what are these clowns going to talk about? We'll talk about that later. It's time for me to hop in this damn rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Make sure you help me stay independent. It's us against them. Jericho Green, notification tones, fanatictones.com, just $1.29. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.